Hello, in this tutorial I am going to show you how we can pass command line arguments to the main function of our program while running the program from command prompt or terminal. In the other tutorial I have already showed you how you can compile and execute a C program from command prompt. So if you are not familiar with the terminal or command prompt and how to compile a C program from terminal, then you can just view that tutorial and can get back here and continue. I'll recommend that. So in order to compile this program, let me go to the terminal, and this is a simple program. You can see that it's printing only hello world, and the name of the file is cmdtest.c, and I have saved this program in a folder named C code, which is under my home directory. And let me go to the terminal now. If you are using Windows, you can go to DOS shell. So here is the terminal window, and let me increment the font size. Okay. So first of all, I need to go into the C code directory. C code is under home directory. I am right now in the home directory. So C code, change directory to C code, and you can get the content of C code here. It's cmdtest.c. It's there in the C code. So let me compile this using the gcc command. That's the compiler command. gcc space file name will compile this file, and you can see that the object file is a.out, that is generated by this gcc command from this source file. Okay, now I can execute this. So here is the hello world printed. For execution we use this a.out /a.out. Now while executing this program using this command, you may have noticed that it is the hello world printed here. So here what we are doing, we are practically instructing the operating system to start our program, and operating system is actually calling the main function. So what we can do while running the program from this command prompt, we can pass on some information to the program if necessary. Say I need to pass on these two values to the program for the need of the program. Instead of taking the values using scanf, I can pass on the necessary values from the command prompt to the main function, and that's going to speed up the whole process. So while you are passing these values from the command prompt, while you are passing these values from the command prompt to the main function, you need to receive it here in the main function. You need to provide a mechanism so that those values from the command prompt could be received here. So we declare these formal arguments of main function. Now this is the standard formal argument that we use in order to receive the command line parameters. The meaning of these arguments are predefined and fixed. The first one is the integer, the second one is the pointer to pointer of a character, and these two types are fixed. You cannot have some different values, different data types here. Although the name of the variables could be different, you can give any name to these variables, but the type, as far as the type is concerned, they are fixed and predefined. Traditionally we give these names as argc and argv. Argc stands for argument count and argv stands for argument vector. Now the first argument, this argc, which is of type integer, receives the total number of parameters that is passed from the command prompt. So if we are passing this 100 and 200, then the total number of parameters in C is actually 3. Now first one, this a.out, the name of the object file, and the second one is this 100, and the third one is this 200. That means when we execute this a.out in this way, then this argument C is going to receive 3 in that case. Let me just print this so that you will understand it clear. %d, and I'm going ahead and printing the value for argc. I'm saving the program. I'm saving the program once more. Now let me compile again. So gcc, then comes cmdtest.c, and gets compiled. Now I'm running the program a.out and passing on 100, 200. So you can see that the value for argc is 3. And again, if I just run the program and pass 3 values, then you can see that it's actually 4. These are the 3 parameters, and the name of the object file is passed also as the first parameter. So there are altogether 4 parameters. So if you need that how many parameters are passed from the terminal, you can just use this variable argc to get that. Now this character pointer to pointer argv receives the base address of each argument. It's actually array of character pointers that is allocated by the operating system. Let me show you by drawing a block diagram how the parameter is received here in argv. Now this argv is actually base address to array of pointers, character pointers, and each argument that we pass here is received as a character array here. So the first is a.out, and a character array will be allocated in order to keep this a.out. It's a non-terminated character array, and that will be allocated by the operating system. And then comes the 100. It's also character array. Everything that you pass from the command prompt, no matter whether it is numeric or not, always it's going to be allocated in character array, and all of them are going to be allocated implicitly. We don't need to write any explicit code for allocation of these arrays. So, and the base address of these arrays are received here in these elements of argv. So the first element of argv points to the first array that contains the first argument of this command prompt of this terminal, and the second element points to the second array, third element points to the third array, and so on. So argv0 is actually a.out, argv1 is the first parameter, actual parameter, that's 100, and argv2 is this 200, argv3 is this 300. So if I go on and write a for loop to iterate with this array, then I will get each and every parameter that is passed from the command prompt. So let me do that. You can understand that these are actually passed here, and the count is available here, and it is the array of character pointers argv that is created dynamically to hold the base address to each character array containing the parameters, containing each parameters that we pass from the command prompt. So let me go ahead and write a for loop in order to access each and every individual argument that is passed from the command prompt. We need a counter, and total number of arguments is argc, so we can use that for iterating with the for loop. It would be better to write in this way so that you can understand the values that is passed, how they are kept in argv. So I am printing the index here, and then I'm using %s in order to print the character array. Okay, so I goes first, and then argvi. So this argvi is going to print the ith parameter. So let me save this, and I'm going ahead and running this program once more after compilation. So let me compile this once more, cmd test.c, and it gets compiled. So /a.out space 100 200. Let me pass on some text as well, say hello world. If you have a space in between the argument, then you need to enclose it within double quotes. Otherwise, if it's a single word parameter, then the double quote is not required. Say the next parameter is Bravo. Then we are passing actually 1 2 3 4 5 parameters altogether, and you can see that argc is 5 and argv0 is /a.out. That's the command that we are using here in order to execute, and the second parameter is 100, third one is 200, and this, and they goes on. So in this way we can just receive arguments in main function from terminal. While we execute a program from terminal, we can pass on necessary information for the program to the main function, and that's called the passing command line arguments. In the next tutorial, I will show you another example where I will be using these command line arguments for a program. Thank you.